Hello everybody, my name is Dhdjdisgsnsjdj and today I'll be talking about the death sentence. So first off, let me describe to you how the death sentencing works. It's not some crazy evil way to put a person in pain through death. It's a lethal injection that they put into the person to make them die in a quick and easy, painful death. When conversing about death sentencing, there are many factors that come into play. Is it morally wrong to put a person in the death row for the crimes they have committed? Or do we, within ourselves, have the right to determine the fate of another person? There is also financial factors at play, such as the price of the death sentencing and the pricing of housing inmates. So my four main points are the price, the morals, the impact, and the victim's family. Let's go over price. It costs over $1 million per year to imprison a person for life. And these prices are the food, the housing, the clothing for the prisoners. Barry Institute of Justice released a study in 2012 that found that the average cost of prisons in 2010 in the 40 states that participated was over $39 billion. The annual average taxpayer costs in these states were over $31,000 per inmate. The New York State was the most expensive with an average cost of $60,000 per inmate. While on the other hand, the death sentencing is a quick and easy way to put a person to rest versus being forced to grow old and dying in a cell. While on the death sentencing period, they have a 15-year grace period where there's an investigation that takes place to prove whether the prosecutor is guilty or not. Next is morals. The perpetrators don't necessarily care for the victims. They willingly did the crimes, and these crimes are considered capital murder, such as homicide and genocide. Another reason why the prosecutor would be more willing to go to prison rather than have a death sentencing is because they'll be housed, fed, and clothed for free, rather than knowing that they're going to die. Next is impact. More death sentencing would scare criminals into not committing the crimes that previous ones have committed, and would also set a harder standard in how we uphold the laws as a scare tactic to prevent future crimes. And finally, this victim's families. Death sentencing would be a way to ease the family and have a closure for them, knowing that the killer has been put to rest for the ones who have lost family members. And another reason is that it would prevent other family members from suffering the same victimization and the same type of murders that the previous families have also lost. To reiterate what I went over the price, the morals, the impact, and the victims' families. And I pulled a resource from Barry Institute of Justice. That concludes my briefing.